In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
Fairy tales. We grew up with them in some fashion. Whether it be that we heard them through stories and books or through watching them in some sort of film medium, they're an iconic part of shaping many narratives today. However, when I think of a fairy tale, usually the first thing that comes to my mind is a lighthearted and fun rendition with a happy ending, thanks to what people call Disneyfication. However, today's show goes back into the roots of what a true dark tale actually is. What's up, guys? It's Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, here to review the anime Berserk. Berserk is a tale about the Black Swordsman Guts and his life primarily focusing from his early years to his time in the Band of the Hawk. It's really hard to describe why I like what Berserk does with its narrative. It's simple, but it also has depth. That really makes next to no sense considering you can't have both at the same time, but Berserk does that dark, twisted fairy tale type of narrative very well. In general storytelling ideas, the first episode isn't even needed whatsoever, and I think that the show is a little too slow at first, but it does improve in pacing as it goes along. Bringing it back to Disney and its original animated features, when you watch those films as a child, you enjoyed them and probably also thought they were the best thing ever. If you watch those series now, you can probably see that these narratives are very simplistic, usually having a conflict and resolution along with some sort of happy ending. However, those films are still good. Why? Because they have deeper themes and messages behind them that you didn't notice at first when you were younger. Berserk does that with its narrative also, just in a much darker and brutal style. You can watch each episode of Berserk and come out extremely satisfied if you just watch the show for Guts swinging his giant sword around while brutally killing enemy soldiers. Or you can also watch the exact same episode again and get the deeper message behind the entire story. While that statement sounds sort of pretentious, as you can watch an episode and see both sides of the story, what I'm saying is that Berserk's narrative has more layers to it than you may actually believe. For how little that was happening throughout the show, I felt like I was learning and seeing a lot about the world and ideas behind it all. The narrative style reminded me a lot of what I felt while watching Bakemonogatari, minus the aspect of obscurity. Then we hit the final 3 episodes and wow, just wow. The final 3 episodes of Berserk are what you get when you combine the ugly barnacle story from SpongeBob and Kanye West's dark fantasy, and I honestly wish there was more. While it is a true definition of a tragic ending, I have very mixed feelings on the entire aspect of it. The biggest problem is that it actually doesn't conclude. It gives you the check out the source material ending, which I really dislike seeing as I probably will never get around to it. However, on the other hand, the final dark scene was able to capture what Berserk truly is, using its main cast of characters, which added more to their archetypes as well. Guts, Griffith, and Casca. These 3 characters were the embodiment of 3 individual archetypes that were explored, debunked, and then personified extremely well in Berserk. Guts, at first, is a tragic character where nothing goes his way, as seen through his rough childhood. However, he then finds a home in the Band of the Hawk where he can truly belong, only for that to be snatched from him in the finale. His progression as a character was so beautifully done, so I can see why people like his persona. I really like the backstory his character was given, considering the amount of detail put into how he became the way he is. It's honestly amazing to see how many layers there are to his character, and while tragic, seeing his character progress was the highlight of the show for me. Griffith is a horrible character, but not in the general sense of the word. It's hard sometimes to write a multi-layered villain in a lot of narratives, but Berserk does that job extremely well with Griffith's character. His character progression is eerily similar to Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. Despite the hatred the fanbase has for the prequels, we at least saw Anakin's transformation. Griffith is the exact same way. He's given almost everything and is considered by many to be a true master of war, but just like Anakin, that isn't enough for him, and the hatred in his heart takes over. He's an awful character, but in a good sense. Finally, Casca can be considered the stereotypical woman figure in a lot of these types of shows. A lot of the group believes that she shouldn't be out on the battlefield because she is a woman who will only get in the way. However, her character then debunks that notion and becomes a very prominent figure in the Hawks. Then, thanks to the final episode, her character becomes once again useless as she is only there for Griffith's pleasure. The supporting cast as a whole is a mixed bag in terms of progression, but their roles when on screen were memorable enough to the overall story. Not to be confused with Industrial Light and Magic, the company helped create the visual effects and films like the Transformers franchise, Jurassic World, TMNT, Pacific Rim, and many others, Berserk was produced by Oriental Light and Magic. Unfortunately, I wish it were the former. Berserk's animation has aged badly, and it certainly shows. While some scenes mostly involving any close quarters combat look genuinely nice for a 90s show, the rest of the series either relied on lots of still frames or very minimal animation. However, I will say that the art style is incredibly nice looking, utilizing a gritty style to give it that darker tone. The character designs are both hit or miss for me. Guts looks awesome, especially during any battle, and is probably now one of my favorite male lead designs that I personally have seen. The other main cast and supporting cast looked okay, but fill-in characters looked really bad. I mean, I love seeing the same face plastered on dozens of characters in one scene. Also, I don't know if this bothered anyone else, but after scenes where Guts gets badly injured, he suddenly has no scars from the wounds during the next scene if time progressed. His character looks the exact same. Both the openings and endings are also nothing special, using similar techniques that we see throughout the show. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed with how Berserk was produced, but there are still some highlights in its animation. I'm sure this is an unpopular opinion, but aside from a handful of tracks, I really wasn't the biggest fan of Berserk's musical score. It also doesn't help that it becomes extremely repetitive, using a couple of tracks far too many times that it becomes very stale. What I don't understand is why they didn't use everyone's favorite track, Forces, more. They used it in every preview, but that was about it. It's the most explosive and exciting song on the entire score, and it would have been awesome to hear it more in the battle animations. The sound effects throughout the show were also kind of meh as well. I mostly found that aspect to be the worst when cheering was involved, as you can hear the stereotypical cheering that almost every 90s medium used. Give it a listen in certain episodes and I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. I honestly found the opening to be really jarring compared to what I was expecting out of Berserk's tone. I think it would work more for a series like FLCL. The ending is much better in my opinion, but I still wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now, the dub for this show is really interesting to me. For a 90s series, it's really well done, but at the same time, the casting of a lot of characters bugged me. This is no fault against the voice actors and actresses who put on a great performance, but when you hear those same voices in a show like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Sonic X, then hear them curse up a storm in Berserk, it made some of the dialogue unintentionally cheesy. The main cast was certainly the best of the bunch, so if you like dubs, you'll enjoy this one as well. Now, with everything that I have said, do I recommend watching Berserk? Absolutely. While its production qualities aged very poorly, Berserk's narrative and main cast are still really well done. Although simplistic, Berserk captures that dark tale of fantasy extremely well. It certainly is a series that stands its ground in a handful of really well-made 90s shows. Spartan Media Reviews gives Berserk a great recommendation. If you are interested in watching Berserk, unfortunately there is no official license to stream the show, but you can watch the entire series for free on YouTube. Now, what are your thoughts on Berserk? Comment below. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. You can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, I would really appreciate that as well. Follow me on Twitter and Hummingbird to keep up to date with the current things that I am doing, and with all that said, I will catch you guys in my next review. Thank you for watching.